It's February 17th, and the strange side of history awaits. Today, we have a submarine that struck in secret before disappearing in the dark, accusations that turn the faith into fear, and a thinker silenced for imagining a universe too vast for the authority to control. Let's begin. On February 17th, a metal coffin slipped beneath the black waters of Charleston Harbor and made history. The Confederation submarine H.L. Hunley was barely 40 feet long. 8 men sat inside, shoulder to shoulder, turning a hand crank that powered the propeller. There was no room to stand, no quick escape, only darkness, sweat, and the sound of their own breathing. Their target loomed ahead, a 1,240-ton Union ship, the USS Housatonic. Strapped to the Hunley's bow was a 135 copper keg of black powder, fixed to a 16-foot spear, essentially a floating bomb. Near 10 p.m., the submarine rammed the Housatonic below the waterline. The warship sank in just 5 minutes. Union sailors scrambled into the rigging as icy waters swallowed the deck. Survivors later reported seeing a strange blue light in the distance, a signal from the Hunley, a sign of victory. Then, nothing. The submarine never returned to shore. For 131 years, it vanished beneath the harbor, its crew frozen in history. In 1994, a team finally found it, buried in 30 feet of water, 4 miles off the Charleston coast. 8 men cranked towards glory, into the unknown. The harbor closed over them like a grave. They completed their mission, but they never came home. On February 17th, 1634, the walls of a quiet convent in Loudun, France, echoed with a scream that many believed were not human. Inside the Ursuline convent, nuns twisted, convulsed, and shouted blasphemies before stunned crowds. What began as a whisper of possession had transformed into a spectacle. Daily exorcisms performed in public, drawing thousands from across Europe. The church officials arrived with authority and purpose. At the center of it stood one name, Urbane Grandeur. The nuns, especially the Mother Superior, claimed demons were speaking through them, and those demons had a message. They said that Grandeur had sent them, that he had bewitched the coven with a bouquet of roses. Soon investigations announced something even darker, a supposed pact with the devil himself. A document they claimed was signed by Grandeur and infernal spirits like Asmodeus. But Loudun was not just a town gripped by fear, it was a town tangled in politics. Grandeur had publicly opposed powerful men, including allies of the Cardinal, over destruction of the city's defensive walls. Enemies were watching and waiting. The exorcisms were no longer spiritual, they were strategic. He was arrested, tortured, and forced to endure agonizing interrogations. That summer, he was burned alive. Sometimes the loudest voices in the room aren't spirits. Maybe they're the ones pulling the strings. On February 17th, in the year 1600, a man was led naked into a Roman square to be silenced forever. His name was Giordano Bruno. Clergy stood in judgment, onlookers whispered. After 7 years in a prison cell, Bruno had been found guilty of hearsay by the Roman Inquisition. But his crime was not a single sentence, it was an idea. Bruno claimed that the universe was infinite, that the stars were distant suns, and they might be surrounded by worlds of their own, perhaps even inhabitable. He denied the church's core fundamentals. To his judges, this was not philosophy, it was rebellion. The trial stretched from 1593 to the year 1600. Again and again, Bruno was ordered to recant, but he refused. He told the court, "Perhaps you pronounce this sentence against me with greater fear than I receive it." They then gagged him and stopped any additional final words. They tied him to a stake, and flames rose into the air. Centuries later, science would confirm the expanding universe and countless worlds beyond our own. And today, a statue stands in commemoration where he was burned. Another day, another strange bite from history. Like, comment, and subscribe. Your next eerie dose is just a day away.